Hey everybody, welcome back. Alright, so we are still on the second floor here, and we've got, we don't have that much further to go till we get to the third floor, but let me deal with this here. But there's still a lot to be explored here. Remember, you want to explore as much as possible so that you can get your global XP, which will help you learn your skills. And I'm assuming your spells as well. I don't actually know for sure how exactly the spells XP level up, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. Like, the pool goes into both of them. I think. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I don't think there's anything useful in here, but again, I'm still gonna run through here. Like, I don't even think there's a single container to search. Yeah, I don't think so. Alright. And if we go over here, there's like these restrooms here. Again, nothing in them, but I'm going to check them out. It's just a good habit. Also, somebody pointed out, I don't know if this is true, but somebody pointed out as a comment to the last video that noise that the doors are making when you first open them might be intentional, so that you know it's the first time you've opened that door. I don't know that that's the case, but that was an interesting idea. Certainly had not thought of it. There's a decent... I don't know if that was... I think that was a neck stab, maybe. Yeah, 2 neck stabs. I'll take it. Alright. I know I'm not leaving any zombie for Darren to kill. Okay, plate greaves. Now, these are probably better than the ones I put on, or are they the same? They are... They're not... No, there's more coverage on the ones I'm wearing. I'm going to throw them on the ground, see if Darren wants them. And then there's some mail gauntlets, which Darren might also want. Put that on the ground. I'm going to walk away. See if he goes and checks that out. Come on, Darren. Over here, man. Go check it out. Yeah, I'm curious to see. Oh, I forgot to look for shoes for him. Okay, he does not... You know, he definitely doesn't seem to care. Okay. That's alright. Alright, so we're going to go around this way. There's a hole in the floor over there to the left. Obviously don't want to deal with that. And... Okay, so... There is a... It's not really a shortcut, but you can get to the next area, like, to the third floor by going this way. But... in so doing, and I gotta refresh my memory, in so doing, I'm pretty sure you skip the catacombs. I think. You know what? It's been so long. Let me just... Let's just pretend I'm not forgetful and trying to confirm this for myself. Let's pretend I'm doing this for your sake. I'm just demonstrating that you can take this shortcut here. And again, it's not really a shortcut, but that's what I'm calling it. Yeah, so this is the third floor. However, if you go right to the third floor, you're going to miss an entire other level, the catacombs. So, sometimes maybe you want to go to the third floor first, and there is a good reason you might want to do that, by the way. In fact, no, I'm not going to do it this time, but there is, I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a good reason why you might want to go to the third floor real quick, grab something, and then come back and go to the catacombs. There is a reason to do that, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway. Right, and then this is the long hallway. So this is... I don't think I've ever found anything useful in any of these rooms, and it kind of takes a little while to search all of these rooms. But I would be a hypocrite if I didn't get my exploration XP after I just went on a rant about it. So I am going to go in each of these rooms. I'm going to check all these things, even though I know I'm not going to find anything. Again, it's not pointless. We are getting XP. And again, it is nice not having Darren standing in the doorway every single time like he used to. He's going to do it now. But, you know, sometimes he's off investigating things, so he's not in the way. So that's refreshing. Now, you're just making me look bad now, Darren. Please just get out of the way. You were doing well. You were not standing in the way. Okay. And no bomb. Yeah, he's just totally making me look like a moron now. He's getting in my way in every single room now. Okay, and then one more. Or wait, no, never mind. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually go back. I want to cover all the ground here. As I mentioned in a previous episode, things become less and less linear as you go on. So there's multiple ways to get around the levels, you know. I usually go about things in a very routine, habitual way. But it's entirely possible to kind of explore these levels in a different order, and including, you know, within each level, going in a different order, you know, the different ways you go around that level. So just know that. Alright, so getting all this stuff. Should be a box here, yep. And there's another upgrade sphere. We will use those soon. Not quite ready to do it yet, but we will. All right. Okay. Now. Yeah, I don't really know about that sound. I mean, that was a good explanation that I mentioned, but I really don't think that's what's going on. I think it's more than likely some kind of I don't know if it rises to the level of a bug, but it may not be intentional. Alright, some more plate spaulders here. I have the hardened leather ones, so I'll throw these on. I've got 1.5 circles of encumbrance now, which is not bad, considering all the armor I have on. It's really not bad. Alright, so now this is back where we were a second ago. We were over here through this door. So again, I didn't want to skip that area that I just went through. Okay, so is the key... Yeah, still here it is here. So we're going to double click this key, single click that door to unlock it. Right. Check this box. Another upgrade sphere and a cuirass with more coverage, but we're kind of beyond the point of needing that now, since we have breastplates. So over here, I don't think there's anything of value. Just refreshing my memory here. Look out, Darren. So now Darren's getting in the way all the time just because I had the gall to say that he wasn't doing that anymore. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing useful. Yeah. Make sure the lids don't come off of these. I don't think they do. No. Right. Okay, and this is like an archery area, maybe an axe throwing area right here. And then we've already been in this room before. All right, so let's head back. And I still keep forgetting to find some shoes for Darren. It just keeps slipping my mind. Speaking of Darren, where is he? Is he in these shadows somewhere? I don't see him. Yeah, there he is. Alright, so this hallway over here is not necessarily going to take us anywhere important, but there is a zombie, and that zombie is not wearing shoes. Okay. But yeah, this should take us back to... I'm trying to remember. I think this takes us back to the beginning of the floor. I want to say... and well, this is technically the end of the floor, but I think if we keep going this... Or is it locked now? I want to say there's a door here that takes us back to the beginning of the floor, too. This one. But I don't remember if it's locked or not. It is locked. Okay. But yeah, again, that just takes you back to the very beginning of this floor. You can go through the wall here to kind of get to the catacombs, the place that I mentioned earlier. But I don't want to do that, because I would be skipping a bunch of things, once again. As you become more familiar with the levels, the floors, whatever you want to call them, you know, you can make your own decision. Do I feel like going through this part? Can I skip this part? I'm actually going to go back around this way. I'm waiting to see that Darren is somewhere. There he is. It's not often that Darren will kind of get caught somewhere. It can happen. That's why I'm just a little hesitant to just take off and not worry about where he's at. But that was also in past builds. I don't know if he's better at pathfinding now in general. Alright, another hole in the floor there. Yep, check this. Yeah, nothing we need there. Okay. Now this is the door, I think. Yeah, I think this was the room we were just in, but that leads to there, and obviously you don't want to... Oh, never mind. Okay, it's the same room. I don't think there's anything to search in there, so we can just skip it. I was really worried Darren was going to just step into that hole. He should not. He should definitely not. And there we go. Let's see if there's anything good in this chest. Absolutely. Look at these gauntlets. Okay, I'm going to take those. And now we've got 2 full circles. Oh, shoes also. 2 full circles of encumbrance. Alright, there's some shoes for Darren. And then what I'm going to do also is, I think... The reason I'm going to give him this is because these stats right here, they apply not just to the forearm, but also to the hand as well. And so these might be better, but the hand is not. So I think it's wise to just give him that. Yeah, all right. Okay, and now here is something you really don't want to skip. And that is a half salve. So this is a very good reason not to have gone through that hole in the wall that I pointed out that would take you right to the end of the level and take you to the catacombs. Because again, there is, well, we're gonna fall on our face here. There is that half salve that you definitely want to get. Alright, nothing in there. So this is going to take us to where that hole in the wall was. So I guess technically you could just go through the hole in the wall, it's right here, and then go work your way back here to get the half salve. But yeah, there's that hole in the wall. Now, I am a bit concerned about the catacombs, I'm not going to lie. There is a heavy... I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, but I guess that's right. There is a heavy platforming element to this next level. This is the catacombs. I am just going to tell you that I will not be surprised if Darren walks into a hole and we lose him for the run. I'm just letting you know right now. So there's also something else to consider. I'm trying to think if there's an exception. There might be one exception. I think all the enemies on this level are skeletons except for one. Which means we probably want to prioritize crush damage. Now, the Bardiche does do crush, but I can't see in the dark if I'm using a two-handed weapon because I need one hand for the torch. There is a solution for that later on, but we'll get to that. And this Warhammer is terrible, but we're going to have to use it for now. And then for Darren, we do have another Warhammer for... I guess we can just give him this and hope for the best. Alright, so anyway. we're going to go down here first. And by that I mean we're going to stumble. Now we're going to go down here, and there's a skeleton. Now skeletons can be tricky. They are not as easy to kill as zombies. They can be very fast, which makes no sense, but that's how it is. And I'm going to give us an advantage here, and I'm going to blast him with Bolt. Okay, he did not fall. I'm gonna step to the side so Darren can get involved because he seems eager. Okay, he hit my armor. Nothing big, just a little stamina damage. I got a good hit in there. Another one. Now oh, we got him. Okay, that worked out much better than I thought it would. All right. So we have now learned trust, and we're going to work on loyalty now. Again, loyalty is the one that allows you to get minions. It is a binding, as you can tell from the border here. Soon I will have continuity 2, which means I can have 2 bindings on at once. I don't have any bindings on right now, which is nice. But we'll see how bindings work soon enough. All right, so let's work our way back up here. Yeah. And like I said, skeletons can be tricky, and there's some skeletons later on in this level that are, huge pain. And it would make a lot of sense to use two-handed weapons. If you were to have taken that quote-unquote shortcut I mentioned to the 3rd floor, you could solve the problem of needing a hand for a torch. So you could come back here and use two-handed weapons and see in the dark. And I'm still trying to decide if I want to go do that. It's not too late. I can still take advantage of that. Now there's another bever. And that one seems really good. I'm going to prioritize myself and then give the other one as a hand-me-down to Darren. He can no longer wear the spectacles. It's been real. They're gone. I think I might... I wasn't going to do it on the first run, but I think I might go to the 3rd floor here in a second, grab that little something I've been hinting at, and then come back here so that we can clear this level with a two-handed weapon, because that's really a good way of doing it. But I don't know. All right, so we need to be careful here. So there's a hole in the bridge right here that hopefully Darren will not fall in. Well, there's multiple holes, I suppose. All right. See how he handles it. Okay, now you can fall down here, you won't die. There is a floor down there, but there are places where if you fall from or through this bridge, you're dead, so that's not good. Now what I want to do is I'm going to tell Darren to stay right here. And the reason is, I don't want to deal with the headache of him potentially falling when I do this. That does not look solid. Let's do this. Okay, that's better. All right. We also learned, by the way, continuity 2 just now. So I'm going to work on maneuvering in armor 3. And, okay, so again, he's going to stay here. It's possible he would fall off that plank and he would not die, but it would still be a pain and I'd have to go get him, and I don't want to do all that. So right now he's just going to chill. He's not in any danger. And I'm going to work my way over here. And over here, we're going to find a really good one-handed sword. Look at that. Very nice. If we compare that to the one I have, you can see it is quite superior. So what I'm going to do is replace this one. I don't want it. Get out of here. And then there's this very, very nice helmet. It's got 2.5 encumbrance, though, which is, that's a lot. But it's worth it. And all things told, when we replaced this was 2. We're still at 2, so it's not bad. I don't remember... No, this was not as good as Darren's, so we can get rid of it. Alright, also, there it is, there's the lever. That's going to open this gate. And I'm going to go and fetch Darren. And then we're going to go into the graveyard. And there's a skeleton in the graveyard who puts up a decent fight, but it's more the terrain that makes that fight really unpredictable. And there's a lot of runs where I just skip the graveyard because I just don't want to deal with this fight. But we're definitely going to take this fight. There's a little bit of light in the graveyard, so I theoretically could use my Bardiche. But there's some areas that are going to be kind of shadowed, so it's kind of difficult. I could just do my Warhammer and the torch. But again, once we get into the graveyard in a second, you'll see that there is some lighting. So I can probably use the Bardiche. But actually, we're going to have to leave it on a cliffhanger because we're out of time, folks. But we will go into that graveyard and have an interesting fight first thing in the next episode. So thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you all next time.